jájọ ẹ̀mú gègé ẹ̀mú ìkájọ fọgbọ́n látẹnu lọ́pọ̀lọ́ pípẹ́ ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Dr. Dauda Mọ̀mọ́dúnlẹ̀ Awwal àlè lórí FIMC CMC lóye tó kún fẹ́ kọ́ ìmọ̀ ìṣítí àtọ̀làjú tó yẹ kóró ètò ẹ̀tún jẹ́jọ gba wa níyànjú nípa ẹ̀sìn àtọ̀rọ̀ tó ní gbogbo Thursday àti Saturday ló máa ń wáyé látago mẹ́fà títí dágo mẹ́sàn-án alẹ́ 9 PM lórí ìkànnì Awwal tẹlifíṣọ̀n ìyẹn lórí YouTube àti Facebook tó bá fẹ́ kàn sí wọn Awwal tẹlifíṣọ̀n @gmail.com nurullah2019 @gmail.com àbí kò pè wọ́n sórí 0044 74 60 92 45 14 tàbí 0074 04 72 1017. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ̀wọ́ ká fún ọkàn wa lóúnjẹ mi. Nurullah, ètò àtàtà ní. Ètò àlànà, ètò àtàtà ní. Ètò olóyin, èyí kan bẹ, ìmọ̀ bẹ, ìṣítí bẹ. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ló ń bẹ, jájọ wò. Ọdún ti gorí afẹ́fẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ jájọ wò. Ètò Nurullah, múmìnà, lákọ̀lábo ẹ̀ jájọ wò. Mú gègé mú ìwé jájọ kọ́gbọ́n. Látẹnu lọ́pọ̀lọ́ pípẹ́ ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n. Dr. Dauda Mọ̀mọ́dúnlẹ̀ Awwal àlè lórí FIMC CMC lórí ètò tó kún fẹ́ kọ́ ìmọ̀ ìṣítí àtọ̀làjú tó yẹ kóró ètò ẹ̀tún jájọ.
Good evening, everyone. We are very sorry for starting this program at this time. We supposed to start this program by 6 o'clock, but we have a technical problem which we have sorted it out. Hello everyone once again. If you don't know me, my name is Dr.Dauda Awwal from London. I am a journalist and also an author. I have produced many documentaries and films, and also written many books. I am a certified management consultant, and I studied business management at University of Bolton, and I studied management and leadership at South London College. I am also a graduate of London School of Journalism and also a graduate of Anglia Ruskin University, Cambridge. I am a fellow member of Institute of Management Consultants, IAMC. I am a member of Institute of Management Consultants, IAMC. I am a member of British Africa Business Alliance in the UK, and also I am a member of Chartered of Institute of Management Consultants, and also hold a doctorate degree in communication and corporate leadership. This is just a brief about myself. As I said, that I've written many books. I am the author of Big Data Analysis and Information Technology Systems, and also I am the author of Digital Marketing and Social Media. I am the author of Government and Freedom of Speech. Freedom of speech, and also I am the author of a book titled Government and Freedom of Press, and also I've written a book titled World of Work and Functional Area of the Business Management. This is little I can say regarding to some of my publications. As you know, I welcome you on board for this special program today. I will be discussing with us today leadership and management. Leadership and management. What are the challenges facing many leaders and managers across the globe? What are the solutions to overcome this problem? I have to tell a brief story, or what's prompted me to bring this topic today. I was with two of my friends. Two of my friends and I were discussing about the differences between the leadership and management, and one of my colleagues said that there is no difference between manager and the leader. The other one said there is a difference between the two words. Our discussion extended to Nigeria, where we argued on the quality leadership that we have in Africa. We compared the leadership in the Western countries with what we have in Africa. One of my colleagues mentioned that if truly that we have genuine true leadership in Africa, how could a bandit abducted a military major officer in a military zone in a broad daylight? How could military officers been killed and one being abducted in Nigeria Defense Academy in Kaduna? And this happened on Tuesday, 24 of August 2021. And the source told journalists that the bandits disguised in a military uniform and headed to the officers' quarters and shot sporadically. And Major Bashir Muhammad, the Academy Public Relation Officers, reported that they have security challenges and NDA was compromised by unknown gunmen who gained access into the area in Africa during the incident. And also we have watched a television program where retired Commodore Olakunle Olawunmi, a military intelligence retired officer with about 35 years experience. We have watched what he said. In quotes, he said, I belong to a group in the military that is not supposed to be seen or heard right now. He said that he doesn't care if he's been killed for this. He said that what is happening in Nigeria, many of Nigerian leaders, they lack inspiration, and they lack encouragement, because many of the governors in Nigeria, many of the ministers and senators, he said they are the sponsor of Boko Haram, and government knows about this. And he said Bureau de Change operators also are the sponsors of Boko Haram, which is known to everybody. He said the government does not want to resolve this problem. Rather, they are escalating it. They are escalating this problem. He said most of those sponsors are known within the intelligence community. He said the DMI, DSS, and police intelligence knows the sponsors very well, and the DSS knows very well with tons of file of those sponsoring evil in the country. And the defense headquarters knows all those who are behind the terror going in Nigeria today, according to him. He accused the leadership of Muhammadu Buhari, who is the leader of Nigeria at this moment. He said he knows what is happening, but he is quiet. Mr. Olakunle added to his point that the government of Dubai knows the sponsors of those sponsors, because the government of Dubai sent the list of the sponsors of the terrorism to the Nigerian government. But what did Buhari do? Mr. Olakule said that government has directed all media to stop calling all the bandits unknown gunmen, so that international community will not be misled that they are terrorists. According to Mr. Olakunle, he said government don't want journalists to report the true picture of what is happening in Nigeria. He said there must be insider collaborating in the Nigerian Defense Academy. He said there are many irresponsible people in the Nigerian military formations, according to him. He said the Nigerian government leadership should have a policy change, because the sponsors should be apprehended and brought to justice. There must be direct change of policy from Islamization and democracy. This is what Mr. Olakunle said. That is, if you are ready to be a good leader, you have to be ready to be fearless, to change what is wrong to what is right. To build a strong nation, it requires strong quality leadership. You have to choose a good leader who will listen to your pain, a leader who will protect you, a leader who is ready to tackle the problem of insecurity, healthcare, education, good road, good water, uninterrupted electricity, free education, free healthcare. Internal security management in Nigeria has failed. Internal security challenges is a threat to Nigerian leaders. A good leader must provide effective security and effective welfare for the citizen. A fundamental responsibility of every state is to ensure the safety of its citizens. Insecurity in Nigeria has continued to raise serious doubt about the commitment of the Nigerian leaders to provide adequate security for their citizens. This is what prompted us to bring this topic today. Today's topic, after this presentation, you should be able to understand the meaning of leadership and management by definition. After today's presentation, you should understand the different ways leadership and management has been defined by many writers. You should understand the controversy about difference between the leadership and management. You should understand how to assess the leadership and management. You should understand the nature of managerial work. You should understand the strategic leadership in any organization across the globe. You should understand the transformational leadership. You should understand scientific management. You should understand leadership principles. You should understand differences between leadership and management in the business performances, and also you should understand the negative impacts of ineffective leadership and management. You should understand the leadership styles and management skills. You should understand how to improve business performances, how to improve mentoring, training, discipline and development. After this presentation, you should be able to understand challenges in the leadership and management, and time management as well, and how to overcome those challenges in the leadership and management. This program is designed for those people aspiring to be a good leader. It is also useful for those who are holding positions in the organization or in the government. So this is a special program that we design for training. Let me start to explain the definition of leadership. Many writers has defined multiple definitions of leadership in different way. Like Mary Pratt. Mary Pratt defined leadership as ability to guide the followers or member of an organization. That is, before any individual can possess leadership skill, you must have leadership skill. You must have leadership skill before you can lead others. Leadership is to lead people, to control people, to encourage followers, to encourage your team, to build effective team and to lead them. This is what is known as leadership. Management is ability to manage your leadership effectively. Effective leader must possess management skills. He must possess communication skills. He must possess creative and positive thinking. He must possess positive thinking. He must possess risk management. He must know how to manage organization during the crisis. During the crisis, effective manager must know how to manage crisis. This is very, very important to all the managers and leaders. Individual who possess quality of leadership can ascend to the position of manager or leader or president of a country or chairman of a local government, or be a manager of a company. Great leaders knows how to inspire people. Inspiration is part of leadership skill. Leadership requires leaders to take some management task, which is part of his role. It is part of his job description, in order to make their organization to grow in business. According to Mary Pratt said that people can develop their leadership skill through their daily experiences, even if they do not hold any position of authority or business titles. They can develop their leadership skill. What is leadership? What is leadership? As I said, leadership has been defined in different ways. Leadership could be political or religion or business. Leadership is about leading people to the right direction, building a team, create vision, create a mission, direct followers by using management skill to direct team to the right way. Leadership also refers to creation of vision, to motivate people, inspiring them and engage them. Many writers say that the best definition that we can give to leadership is that is, leadership is a process of social influence that supports effort of others towards the achievement of objective of an organization. This is how many writers defined leadership. Some say that leadership has nothing to do with title or personality. Leadership is all about ability to translate vision. Good leaders empower others by using social influence to encourage them. This is how we can define leadership. Now, let us discuss about the types of leadership. Have you ever think of type of leadership that you admire? Have you ever think of the kind of leader you are aiming to be in future? So it is very, very important to mention the various leadership styles that are well known, recognized by many writers across the globe. Sophie Lee mentioned in one of her articles titled Leadership Skill. She categorized the types of leadership into about 10 categories. She mentioned that democratic leadership is one of the types of leadership, and she mentioned autocratic leadership, coaching leadership, collaboration leadership, transformational leadership, bureaucratic leadership, charismatic leadership, servant leadership, fiery leadership, and transactional leadership. We shall come to this and discuss fully about these. Some other writers explained what democratic leadership is. Democratic leadership is known as participative leadership. That is, democratic leadership allow multiple people to participate in the decision-making process. They allow views of others to make a decision. Many countries and organizations adopt this system, and this system allows effective communication and also allow creativities. It allow collaboration and also overriding the minority opinion. Let us look into one or two of these types of leadership so that you can pick which type of leadership you are planning to be. Number two, autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership is a system where limited opinions is allowed from people, and the leader will make any decision without involving the team or followers, and that leader is expected the followers to follow him. They must follow that decision, either good or bad. Diversity is not allowed. Collaboration is not allowed. It is not involved. This is what we call autocratic leadership. It is very close to dictatorship leadership, where the president of a country take decision himself, whether the citizens like it or not. This kind of this type of leadership allow crisis in the country. Any organization, any business organization, any religious organization adopting this kind of leadership will fail. If you have a company and you are adopting this kind of leadership, don't expect any growth or any improvements in your business or in your organization. Why? Because autocratic leadership is not recognize others' opinion, and to share opinion and to involve diversity, to collaborate with other leaders, we make improvements in your organization. This is where many businesses, many companies, many countries fail when they decide to adopt this kind of leadership. Number three, coaching leadership. Coaching leadership is designed for the coach leaders. The coach leaders must be focused on their team. If you build a team and you are a coach leader, so you have to use this kind of leadership to mentoring and coach your followers, your team. This kind of leadership allow the followers or team to follow the coach's guide, to allow them to achieve their objectives. And it also allow effective communication between the coach and the team. It also allow collaboration. It allow feedback. It allow facilities to be involved. This kind of leadership is common within training courses or in the universities or vocational centers. They use this kind of leadership system to operate. Number 4, collaborative leadership. This collaborative leadership is designed to motivate people to work together across all functional area. Functional area, what I mean by functional area, if you have a company or you have an organization, you must establish functional area. That is different departments under your organization, and each department must work together with others, such as HR. HR, that is human resources. Then marketing department, finance department, operation department, legal department, customer service department. All those departments must work together because they must work with the same vision, the same objective of the organization, so that the business will grow. This is what we call collaborative leadership. This kind of leadership gives room to effective creativity and innovation. Number 5, servant leadership. Servant leadership. This kind of system gives opportunity to the followers to see themselves as leaders, while the real leader sees himself as a servant. This kind of problem, this kind of system, we allow the leader to focus on development and also allow the followers to improve their performances at work. It also allows to build love and trust between the leader and the servant. That is where the leader will not see himself as a real leader. He will see himself as a servant of the workers, of the followers, of the team. This will make the followers to work effectively, because if your team sees you as an arrogant leader, they may not work with you for a long period. It is good for a leader to see himself as a servant. This is what we call servant leadership. Then we have fairy leadership. This system allows the leader to hands off and give his followers 100% freedom to make all decisions. That is, the leader will allow the followers, the employees, to take some quick, necessary decision in some matters. As far as the leader trusts their skills and trust their experiences and have trust in them that they will not take any wrong decision. This is a type of leadership that make the company to grow, and the leader will provide all the facilities and also allow the followers to work effectively. This also allow creativities in any organization. It makes organization to grow. And also we have transformational leadership. This kind of leadership also allow people to create efficient. It allow the team or followers to create efficient based on identified need. And this type of leadership will lead their followers towards the objectives through the encouragement. And this type of leadership also allow workers to have autonomy to work effectively. They will work according to the vision of the company. They will work effectively with honest. They will work with the goals of the organization, and this is one of kind of leadership many business organization adopt in their company. Then we have charismatic leadership. Charismatic leadership refers to a system where leaders use effective communication skill. Some they use voodoo, they use charms to persuade people or influence them to work. And also we have bureaucratic leadership. This based on a clear chain of command, whereby followers are not allowed to question their leaders. The team are not allowed to question their leader. This is very bad. This is not good. This is not a good leadership where the leader cannot be challenged, even if the leader took wrong decision. And this is type of what we can call dictatorship in government. Dictatorship government is a government ruling with self-interest. A president or leader of a country or the chairman of a company, whereby he control the activities of the company with dictatorship styles of leadership. Nobody can challenge him. Nobody can make any complaint. This kind of leadership makes the business to be affected. It will be very hard for such organization to have what we call profitability in their business. And this kind of leadership also causes ineffective outcome, and also it will be very difficult to make any change, any improvement in this kind of leadership. Then many business experts said that there is another type of leadership called transactional leadership. Transactional leadership is designed to control the followers, to control them to the right direction or to the wrong direction. It is similar to autocratic leadership, slightly different from oligarchy. Autocratic leadership is a system the military use in controlling the activities of the military, because they give order. They give order, which is known as decree. And order or decree, nobody can challenge any decree issued by the country where they use autocratic system of government, and it can lead to dictatorship leadership, because a country where they adopt dictatorship leadership, they pass order, they use decree. Nobody can challenge them. We shall come to that in full. I will give us information about countries adopt the type of this kind of leadership, because in many countries across the globe, they use different type of leadership in the government. This is all about leadership. I'm still coming to that, but let me give us a little information about management before we can move further. So management, what is management? Leadership is how a leader can manage the followers or manage the business. Now, management itself. So management usually refers to what managers do, what the manager of a company or the leader of a country, how he or she is managing his people, how is managing the available resources to him or her. So management usually refer to what managers do and what are the strategic plan in managing people or managing resources. How the leader manage the finance of his people, or how manager is managing the finances available to an organization. How can we manage ourselves? So manager or management is not all about having office or having a business or be a leader or holding a position. How can you yourself, how can you manage your life? How can you manage your wife? How can you manage your children? How can you manage your wealth? How can you manage your resources? How can you manage your emotion? How can you manage your money? How can you manage your anger? Now, to manage people or manage others apart from people, it's what they call management in the business management. So how can we manage ourselves? How can we manage our friends? How can we manage our businesses? How can we manage our time? So time management is part of the skill every leader or manager must have. So time management, it is very, very important in business organization. It is very, very important for every leader to have. Every leader must have the skill of time management. This is a brief about what management is. Now, I have explained what leadership means. So to join leadership together with management, so it is clear for us to say that leadership is a process how to manage the resources available to the leader. So that is why I bring this topic as leadership and management. Not all leaders are managers, and not all managers are leaders. I will come to that to explain the differences between the manager and the leader. Is there any difference between manager and leader? If you are a leader of a company, does it mean that you are the leader of that company? What is your role as a leader? Then what are the roles of a manager of a company? I'm still coming to that. The management is the ability to execute efficient or to direct an objective of the organization, or to process the management of an organization effectively. This is what we call management. And to achieve this, the manager of the organization must adopt different styles of management based on ethical value, ethical value of the organization before that manager can succeed. That is because many organizations, they have different ethical value. They have corporate culture that they use in their organization. So leadership and management linked together in the area of leadership, in the area of leading people with different concepts. So this is where the manager and the leader are linked together. So leadership and management, they linked together in the area of leading people, because the manager is managing people. Leader also is leading people. So leading people, managing people. This is where the leadership and management are connected together in the area of leading people with different concepts. So leadership focus on the objective, while the management focuses on the task or responsibility which must be carried out at a certain time. So that is, it is cleared for us to say that leadership and management cannot be separated. Both required different qualities. Both required different qualities. Because as I said, if you look into what is called management, and if you look into what is called leadership, the manager must have management skill. Leadership, so the leader also must have leadership skill. And for effective leader must have leadership, both leadership and management skill to work effectively. Because as I said, there are some strategic decisions which involve management skill before manager can take any decision, because wrong decision by managers may affect the whole activities of the company. This is reason why before you can appoint somebody as a manager of your company, or before you can appoint somebody as a leader of your company, that person must have leadership skill. He must have management skill to run your organization effectively. This is very, very important in any organization. Many organizations, they use democratic leadership to run their company. Some country also, they use democratic leadership to run their country. Democratic leadership seek the inputs of workers or followers, and this can be considered as a useful style, and because it motivates workers to work effectively at workplace. Any organization adopting democratic leadership, it allows the employees to work with creativity, and also it allows good environments to work. And good leaders must know how to manage his emotion. So a leader must know how to manage his emotion when they develop emotional intelligence. This is very, very important. Apart from being managing people, So manager must know how to manage his emotional intelligence. This is very, very important for every manager in any organization. This is very, very important. As I said, that many managers and leaders, they have many challenges. They have many challenges they have many challenges. There are many challenges facing managers or leader of organization, and there are many challenges. And how can a manager or leader of an organization overcome these challenges? Let me mention few of challenges facing many leaders or manager. Number one, time management. There are some managers or leader of a company. When they lack time management, this could be a very big challenge for them. A good leader or manager required to have time management, time for the business, time for the family, time for himself. There are some managers or leaders who have personal problem. When they have personal problem with time management, it may affect them at work, and this may affect the job description given to them by the organization. This is one of the challenges facing manager or leader of a company. And second, internal challenges. Internal challenges. When a manager is having a relationship with one of the employees, it could be sexual relationship or some other issue. It may affect the organization because that person may not work effectively because she knows that the manager is having a sexual relationship with him, and he may not be able to control her or to complain. So this may affect the job description. So this is part of internal challenges some of the manager faces in their organization. Internal challenges also maybe lack of enough resources to work effectively in the organization. maybe lack of fund or any other reason, if the owner of the company or the managing director of the company fail to provide enough facilities for the manager to run the organization, this will be a big challenge for him to manage the business of the organization effectively. Natural problem, that is the nature of leadership, that is when the leader himself or manager himself is having problem. So if the manager is having problem, maybe marital problem or other family issues, and this may cause him to be depressed and may not be focused at work. So this kind of problem will be a big threat, will be a big challenges for him. This may not give him energy to be active at work. This kind of problem, that is why many experts said that when you have a problem and you are coming to work, drop your problem at home before coming to work, because to save your ability to work effectively. So this kind of problem is one of the challenges facing many managers and leaders across the globe. When a president of a country is having a problem, family problem or health problem, it will affect his ability to deliver what is expected by the followers, by the citizens in the country. So these are part of challenges facing the leaders or managers in any organization. Sometimes when the managers of a company or leader of a company have external challenges as well, it may affect the whole activities of the business in their organization. External challenges involve lack of resources, lack of equipment for the workers to work effectively, lack of funding. They need fund to execute some of the job. So lack of funding is one of the challenges facing many managers to work effectively. And also political forces, whereby disorder or protest in the country, or lack of stable electricity in terms of political disorder. This kind of problem may be a challenge for manager. Even there is political forces within the organization. So this kind of politics that many employees play within the organization may affect the manager or the leader of the company. Also, community forces is one of the external challenges affecting many managers or leaders to work effectively in their organization. And if a leader cannot cope with the external challenges, his organization may not be succeed. It may affect all the input and outputs of such organization. A good leader must be able to cope with the internal challenges in order to encourage the followers, in order to encourage the teams to remain. If manager himself or leader of an organization lack confidence in himself, he believe he cannot work effectively to what the owner of the organization is expecting from him, this may lead to failure of that organization. There are some other challenges facing leaders and managers across the globe, whereby people are demanding beyond his or her capacity. This may be a threat to him, and that can be considered as challenges. That can be considered as one of the challenges. As a leader, you are responsible for your organization. You are responsible for your organization's mission to be fulfilled. So a good leader needs motivational people. So motivational people must be around the leader or manager to succeed, particularly when times are tough. That is during the crisis, when something went wrong, when something new is about to start in the organization, when something is about to end in the organization. So leader must have motivational people around him to work. For instance, if the directors of the organization or board of directors or board of trustee, they discovered corruption within the organization, and they investigated the matter, and they see that the manager is involved in the corruption, and due to his achievements in the past, and they decided to demote him. Not that they fire. They have power to fire him, but because he has achieved in the past, they decided to demote him from rank of manager to maybe deputy manager or ordinary staff. So, and he decided to continue working with the organization. So all those people around him must give him motivational advice, so to allow him to continue working effectively. And the new manager may not be happy with him. So this may cause internal politics. It may cause political forces within the organization, because some other staff may not like the new manager the board of directors employed. So this is part of challenges facing many managers in the organization. And also there are some managers where the customer service complain that most of their customer complain criticizing the manager, the way he talks, the way he deal with them. Maybe they don't like that manager, and that manager must be assessed. He must assessed against public criticism, and the organization must do something positive on that. Or the customers complain about the services of the entire organization, or they complain about the products of the organization. Some organization they deliver services, not products, while some organization produces products. If the customers complain about their services or products, this is what we call external challenges, and the effective manager must work on this to resolve this kind of problem. If not, it will affect their businesses. A good leader must be creative. This is how to overcome challenges, to overcome all those challenges facing managers or leaders of organization. So a good leader must be creative, must be a positive thinker. He must think outside the box to avoid unexpected situation. This will prove that he have managerial skill and leadership skill. And how can a manager turn tough times to good time? When there is a crisis in the organization, how can a manager resolve that crisis? So if the manager have management skill and also he have leadership skill with different effective experiences, he should be able to overcome such problem. A good leader must know how to collaborate with outsider, with other companies, with other managers who have experience to learn from him or her. This will make the business to improve, and any manager who doesn't have ability to control his emotional intelligence, as I said, this will create negative situation, and it may cause disaster within that organization. It may cause problem for that organization. So that is why before you can employ anyone to be your manager or to be your leader, you must assess him. You must assess his quality of leadership. What are the quality of leadership and quality of management? So you have to assess this. If not, you will choose a wrong manager. And when a wrong manager is chosen, your organization will have a big problem. It will have a big problem. I said it in the beginning of this presentation that is it possible to be a manager and also to be a leader at the same time? So we come to that. What are the characteristics of effective leaders and effective managers? We come to that. What are the different management styles? I have mentioned leadership styles. Then we have different management styles as well in the business management. We shall come to that. We shall come to the ethical dimension of leadership styles. It will help leaders to manage their people effectively, and we shall assess the performance of leadership and management. If you own a company and you appoint some people to work for you, how can you assess them to know their performances, to know if they are running your company in an effective way? How can you assess their performances? We shall come to that. We shall come to human resources is very, very, very important in any organization, because human resources is the heart of a business organization. How can we assess human resources and other functional area of the business management? And also, we must know how to improve leadership and management. And after today's presentation, we shall come into another discussion related to governance and governments, because it is governance and governments, they operate leadership and management, which we shall discuss about these. Effective management and leadership are very essential to organization to ensure growth of the business. The effective of empowerment and motivation on business performance and strategic planning to facilitate improvement in the performance of management are also essential, which we shall discuss. And an organization, any organization lacks unity within the environments, internal or external environments may have problem of management and quality of leadership, which must be fulfilled. So a good leader recognizes the effect of leadership style on different workers working with them. That is why a good manager must be trained, must have different training on leadership and management, so that he will have ability to manage people, to lead people in a very effective manner. Leadership based on creative and trust, and also adaptability. Leadership culture encourages creativity and innovation, which are very, very important to know. Effective leader empowers their team, while the effective manager must have a clear strategic vision to achieve overall objectives of the organization. Let me come again. This is a very, very important point for leaders or managers of organization. Effective leader empowers their team, while the effective manager must have a clear strategic vision to achieve overall objectives of the organization, because sometimes the leader may not be part of the employees working with the manager. There are some people, they establish businesses and they just give the company to somebody to run it, and that person may be employed as a general manager of the company. That is for him. So he must have a clear strategic vision of the leader, the owner of the company, so that he could achieve overall objectives of the organization. Leadership depends on behavior, sometimes not position. Some people think when you attain a leadership position and they feel arrogant, they feel that all other people working under them are not important. They forget that leader is leading people. So leader managing people. Those people that you are managing, you have to be humble. Arrogant leader, we have problem with his team. So leadership depends on behavior. You must have a good relationship with your team. You must have a good relationship with your leaders, with the chairman, the owner of the company. So good behavior is very, very important in the business. So leaders are chosen by people and empower people to achieve objective of the organization. So leader influence by setting a good example, to show people a good example, rather to tell them, or rather telling them. That is, you don't need to tell people that you are a good leader. Your activities will tell. So a good leader must influence others to work. Leaders make an impact and effective. They must be an effective leader to effect positive change. So good leader must have impact and effect positive change. Leader communicates and influence others to work. This is what we call good leadership. So if you are operating this type of leadership, I congratulate you that you are a good leader. Don't see yourself as a leader, see yourself as a servant, and you must be humble. You must humble yourself. You must know that without people that you are leading, there's nothing we can point as leadership. So as you are leading people, so you have to show a good behavior, good character with your team. Leaders create a team, and a good leader must work hard to develop his team. Let me, before I go further into that, I would like to give us more information about the difference between managers and leaders, because many people asked me this question before today's training or presentation began. I received many questions regarding to the differences between managers and leaders. There is a distinction. There is a distinction between leadership and management, according to many academic business writers. Russell Honora agrees that leadership work with goals and vision and management works with objective. So because management works with the objectives of the organization, so while leadership works with goals of the organization. There are many companies like Facebook, Google, Amazon, YouTube, Barclays Bank, Zenith Bank, Access Bank, First Bank, all those multinational companies. They employed diverse workers, and they have effective managers. And the company, all those companies I mentioned, they establish good leadership, and they empower their workers and solve problems of the customers. That is, so they distinguish leaders from managers. For instance, Mark is the owner of Facebook, but Mark himself, who owns Facebook, employed many managers working under him. All those managers must work according to the objectives of the owner of the company. They agreed to work with term and condition. They must work with the objectives of the owner of the company. So Mark is the leader of Facebook, but he employed many people as they are employees, and many managers working under him must work with the vision of Facebook. So leadership and management linked together in the same area of leading people, as I said, with different concepts. So leadership focus on the objective, while the management focuses on a specific task or responsibility which must be carried out at a certain time. So it is clear that both leadership and management cannot be separated. So both required different qualities in leadership and management. Now, what is the difference between managers and leaders? Managers have subordinates with clear communication, while the leader have followers and think about them with clear communication. Managers give instruction to those workers working under him, while the leaders show followers instruction. So the leader will show his team or followers that these are the tasks. This between January to December, we must achieve this so turnover. So it will show the manager. Then the manager will give instruction to those people working under him within the internal departments, all those functional area. So the manager will instruct them and give them deadline. So these are the different. You will see that both cannot be separated. Managers manage people at work, while the leader coach followers skill. Leaders coach followers to have different skill. Managers solve problems and challenge changes, while the leaders create new changes with innovation and also face challenges. Managers apply veto power. Sometimes you will see a manager using the power given to him by the owner of the company, and you will see that sometimes when a manager solve problem, when managers solve problems and challenge changes, then the leader creates new changes with innovation. This is what is happening in many companies across the globe. Managers organize plans and supervise the other workers, while the leaders inspire and coach the followers. Manager give direction at work, while the leader asks questions how things done. So it is responsibility of the leader to ask questions how things are done, and the manager is in charge to answer all those questions. So managers have different ideas why the leaders value the best creativity. Managers implement management with trust and good behavior, while the leaders implement leadership with trust and good behavior. So many managers solve problems at the workplace by interaction with employees, and they must have specific skills such as strategic analysis for the evaluation performances of the employees at the workplace. Managers' task consists of planning of the job description. A manager is in charge of leading people, organizing the task, controlling activities at work. Good leadership reflects in manager's ability and his behavior, as I said. But few managers think short term, while many leaders think about long term of the business. As you can see, if you check how Facebook leadership, you will see that they face many challenges in the past which affected many of the users of their services globally, and they resolved all the problem to prove their effective leadership in the management. This is what is happening in many other organizations. Few people leading a team, and they can perform as both manager and the leader at the same time, at the same place. But every successful organization mixed both in achieving the goals of the organization. A manager is responsible to set the goals of the organization, while the leaders work harder to set the vision and turn it to the practical level for the organization. And the manager ensure that all the employees do the right job according to the job descriptions. This is very, very important. So it is clear for us to conclude that there is a distinction between management and leadership based on the meaning, because the meaning intangible, and good leaders admit mistakes, because good leaders must admit mistakes if they fail. If they fail, they believe that failing brings more lesson that leads to more success. And this is what is happening in many organizations across the globe. We have understand the difference between the leaders and managers. As I said, you have to understand this so that when you become a manager of a company or of an organization, so you have been employed to manage the people, to manage the resources of that company, and if you manage it well, you will be promoted. Well, if you manage it well, it will become a special skill for you. In future, if you establish your own company, you will have skill to manage your own company. Or if you become a president of a country, or you become a governor of a state, or you become a chairman of a local government, or you become senator or House of Rep member, so you'll be able to manage your people well with the resources allocated to you. If you are a good leader, and you are leading your people to the right direction, they will be encouraged, they will feel motivated. No one will complain, no one will curse you, no one will complain about your leadership if you are a good leader. Before I proceed, as I promised that we shall discuss about the type of the leadership in the government, because this is the problem where many people don't understand when a country when a country lacks good leadership. What happens to that country? If a country lacks good leadership, if a country lacks good management, what happens to that country? So that is what is happening in Nigeria and other countries in Africa and other countries across the world. When you see any country whereby the quality of lives of the citizen improved, you see the security management is improved, you see the education is improved, you see the social care, health care and social infrastructure is improved, and you see the economy of that country improved. Do you know what they have? They have good leadership and management. That is the answer. They have good leadership and management. Any country lacks good leadership, any country lacks good management, they will have problem. The citizen of that country will suffer. They will continue to suffer until they change the system of leadership, they change the system of management to what is required by what leadership and management required before that country can have peace. That is what is happening. Now, let us look into types of governments around the world and the types of governments political scientists designed for the countries, designed for the organization, because government itself is an organization. So a political party will contest election, and when they win, they become the leader of that country, ruling them. Then people will say the ruling party. So now the ruling party will have the head, that is president or king or prime minister. Now, people who voted for them, where they operate democratic system of government, they are expecting from that leader, they are expecting good leadership from him. They are expecting good management of the resources of that country from him. But when they choose a wrong leader and they are expecting good leadership, they are expecting good management, that is wrong thought. You can never see a good leadership when you have already chosen wrong leader. You can never see a good management when you have chosen wrong manager to manage the resources of your country or company. First, democracy. So what is democracy? So democracy is a system of government that allows the people to choose their leadership by themselves. So it is a system of government whereby the people choose their leader themselves. So either by appointment or by elected or by voting, and the government will work in different way to deliver the quality of leadership and the quality of management. There are many countries across the globe adopting democracy system of governments, like France, Belgium, United States of America, Denmark, Iceland, Finland, India, Israel. It's about 167 countries across the globe adopt democracy system of governments, including Nigeria, where I was born. Italy, Japan, there are some other countries operating democracy system of governments. The question is it true democracy they have in Nigeria? Because we discuss about Nigeria, that is my country. Due to my experience in the media, due to my experience as an author, I've written many books on Nigeria. I've written a book titled Nigeria, Yesterday, Today and Tomorrow. It's about 200 pages. I dedicated my time for the research before I produced that book. The book was published about 6 or 7 years ago, and I provided valuable information in that book. I worked at National Assembly for 8 years, so I know much about Nigeria and how they run their country. We shall come in full details. That will be the episode 2 of this program, where we will assess the leadership of Nigerian leaders from 1960 till present day, so that we will know the problem that Nigerians are facing, they will know whether Nigerian leaders in the past to present have leadership skill or management skills. Do they have the quality of leadership or quality of management? We shall come to that. This is one of the types of governments many countries operate. Second, communism. Communism is a system of governments whereby a single party created the system, and this system was created by German philosopher called Karl Marx. This kind of system of governments is adopting in China. China, they operates communism system of governments, and Cuba and Vietnam. Number 3, socialism. Socialism is a system of governments where they encourage cooperation rather than competition among the citizens. And this is one of a system of leadership. They operate in some countries such as Vietnam, North Korea, Portuguese. Number 4, monarchy. Monarchy is a system of governments where power system relies on a person. That is, the government will appoint a person as head of state for life until that person retire or resign or quit the seat of power. That is what we call monarchy. Monarchy system of government leadership is operating in United Kingdom, whereby the citizens recognize Queen Elizabeth as the head of United Kingdom presently. And in Saudi Arabia, they operate monarchy. Salman is the head of the government in Saudi Arabia, so they operate monarchy. They operate a monarchy system of government in leadership in Bahrain, in Belgium, in Qatar, in Sweden, in United Arab Emirates, Dubai, and some other countries. Because I have limited time, so I may not be able to mention all the countries operating monarchy. A country where monarchy is operating, that person will remain in power, remain leader of that country until he or she resign or something else happen. Number 5, we have theocracy. Theocracy is a system of governments in which a specific religion, ideology determine the leadership of such country. So they will appoint the leaders to rule their country by using a specific religion ideology. So that religion ideology will determine the type of leadership that country will operate. And the best example I can give for this kind of system of government is Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, they operate theocracy because Taliban. This Taliban is an organization. They believe in Sharia and they believe in leadership from the Quran by operating the system what Quran says, that is Islam. So any country adopting a specific religion to determine the leadership of that country, so they are operating theocracy. And in some other country where they use this kind of system is Vatican. In Vatican, they use this system. Saudi Arabia also operating this kind of system because they believe in Quran and they believe in Sharia. Many of their constitution was taken from the Quran. And Mauritania also operating this kind of leadership, and Iran also operating this system, this kind of leadership. For instance, in Saudi Arabia or United Arab Emirates, if you have been there, you will see the quality of leadership in their leaders, because there is 24 hours security, there is 24 hours electricity, there is free education, there is health care, free health care in their country. Any country operating monarchy or theocracy, many of their leaders fear Almighty God. They believe that God will question them one day. That is why they rule with selfless. They rule with public interest, and they rule with what people needs in the country. You will see the quality of leadership and quality of management. Any country that's been developed, any country that their leaders manage their resources effectively. So you could see the traces of good leadership in that country. Number 6, colonialism. Colonialism is a system of government whereby a nation expand their power over other territories. Like some African countries was colonized by French and British. As you can see, for instance, in Nigeria was colonized before they fought for their independence, which they attained October 1, 1960. So Nigeria is 60 years and 10 months old right now. 60 years of age of human being. I think that age, 60 years old person must be able to point to many of his or her achievements in life if he understands what we call management, how he manage his or her life or manage his resources. We shall come to that. Number 7, dictatorship. Dictatorship system of leadership is a system whereby a military dictatorship is ruling that country by a single authority with what we call absolute power. Absolute power with democratic power or process, but he decide, he give order, he give decree, where you see a leader taking decision without public opinion, without collaboration, without stakeholders. This is what is known as dictatorship. We can see this in Mali. We can see example of this in Chad. We can see example of this in Cuba. We can see example of this in North Korea. We can see example of this in Sudan, because that is a country where they use autocratic system. Autocratic system. As I said, in the business management, we have something called autocratic system. If a manager or leader of an organization is using autocratic system in their organization, they will fail. They will fail because a leader or manager of a company must take a decision with collective ideas of the board of directors, with stakeholders of the company. When we are talking about stakeholders, the owner of the company, the customers, the employees, so they are part of stakeholders. So a country operating that system, a dictatorship system government, they fail. When we come to leadership in Nigeria, we could see traces of this dictatorship in some of leaders who has ruled that nation. when we come to that, we will come to conclusion whether it is true that they have true democracy or they have dictatorship or monarchy. I will leave that opinion to viewers. Number 8, we have totalitarianism. That is a system of government where an authoritarian government is ruling. The ruling party recognizes no limitation whatsoever on its power, including its citizens. The citizens' lives or rights, so whereby a single figure holds power and maintain authority through widespread surveillance, control over mass media. They will have control on media. They will censor the news, and that violates freedom of press. Media should not be censored. News cannot be censored. So journalists must be allowed to carry out their duty to report the event according to what happened. So the journalist is responsible to investigate and gathering their reports. So by gathering their reports and reporting, they have to present it to the masses according to what happened. But there are some countries where they regulate media, they control media. So in such country, they will be in darkness because they have to report what government asks them to report. Any journalist violate this law will be killed or jailed or punished. So any country adopting totalitarianism, they control mass media. And when two army was killed in Nigeria at Nigeria Defense Academy, and Mr. Olakunle reported about it. Now he has been declared wanted, and the government has warned journalists in Nigeria to stop calling bandits gunmen. They said because international community will think they are terrorists. We shall come to that in full. Number 9, aristocracy. Aristocracy is a system of governments where a small elite ruling class, we have power over in lower socio-economic states. So members of this type of government are selected based on their education, or family history. Number 10, oligarchy. Oligarchy is a system of governments where a collection of individual rules over a nation. And a specific set of qualities such as wealth or race will determine people that we rule their country. That is what they call oligarchy. Oligarchy system of government. They select special people to run the activities of their countries. With what I have said so far, we will understand the concept and the definition of leadership and their influence on management. As I explained, many successful businesses such as like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they succeed because of the companies is well structured and they have good leadership and good management. That is why you see them improve day by day. Because they have overcome challenges of leadership. They understand the challenges of leadership in running a business. They understand the quality of management in running business. That is why you see them bringing different innovation, different idea to improve their businesses. This is what people are expecting from the leaders in any country adopting democracy. They are expecting improvements on security. They are expecting improvements on education. They are expecting improvements on economy. They are expecting improvement on the quality life of citizens in the country. They are expecting improvement on the electricity, which is very, very important. And they are expecting improvement on good road, water, healthcare. When the followers expected many achievements from their leaders and their leaders failed them. Between the leader and the followers, they will the followers will lose interest in honest. They will lose, that is the honest between the followers and team. When it is when there is no trust between the followers and the leader, it means there is a problem. There's a problem. In Nigeria, many leaders during the election, they will promise this and that, and the people will vote for them after they voted them in. It will be very difficult for that leader to fulfill all his promises. Why? Because they did not assess that leader. there's nothing like leadership skill in that person they voted for. So how could you expect any achievement in that leader? That is why it is leadership skill, quality leadership is very, very important before the followers choose their leaders, because leadership also can be termed as behavior, influence, communication. During campaign, they will go to anywhere that they need their votes. They will communicate with them. They will distribute posters, and they will go for campaign and promise the voters. So that time they are planning to lead their people. They are planning to control them. And after they voted him, they voted them in. Between them and that leader, they will lose communication. Many of them will change their telephone number. It will be very hard to have access to them. Any leader or any person call himself leader without fulfilling his promises to the followers is a failure leader. It's a failure. In the business management, the business environments in the context of the business organization. So a business organization can have diverse objective with different departments, with their top leaders in different specialization. That is why Nigerian leaders, they have problem. They need to source for improvement from other country, from other leaders, for the improvements, but they believe that they don't need all that as far as they have won the election, so they don't need anybody to share his views. That creates much problem for them. In the business organization, each department has influences on others depending on the job description, which aims to satisfy the same outcome of the organization. For instance, in Nigeria, the ruling party, when they have opposition party, they supposed to work together. Either APC or PDP, they must work together for the outcome, for the benefits of public interest. But they see themselves as enemy, and that is why you see them killing themselves, criticizing themselves. Some leader will say the past leader created problem for Nigerians and he himself has created problems. So instead of looking for the solution, how can we overcome those challenges? Because they lack leadership skill. So that is why you see them saying all that. The manager of the Department of Human Resources is different from the top manager of the marketing department. The chairman and chief executive director, CEO, have a great influence on all the top managers of the organization in decision making. Because as the general top leaders of the organization, that is why you will see in many countries as well, only the president can sign some of the appointments in many countries. In many organizations and many countries, we have effective leaders and we have ineffective leaders. We have effective managers and we have ineffective managers. So good managers are good leaders. If you can manage resources available to you, you can manage people with their diversity. It means you are a good leader. If you are a good president in a country, you must rule the nation without tribalism, without nepotism. So a good leader performs his job properly without thinking of, oh, this one is Yoruba, this one is Hausa, this one is Fulani. A good leader should not think that way. The leader or manager of a company or president of a country is in charge of coordinating the subordinates, and this must be done effectively, because when something went wrong in a state, for instance, there are security challenges in Nigeria now, so all the blame goes to Buhari because he is the president. So he must think of how to overcome the problem because he is the leader. So the leader must allow them to share their views, recognizes their inputs. This will motivate the people or the workers to work effectively in the organization. So if things go wrong in our organization, the senior managers will be responsible for answering the queries. So management must protect against disaster at the workplace. And why many companies succeed to manage this? Because they understand what leadership and what management is. As I said, a stakeholder is one of the parties that can affect the performance of the business, or that can be affected by the activities of the business. So ineffective leadership and ineffective management can affect employees. It can affect managers, customers, suppliers. It can affect governments and owner of the business. For instance, insecurity challenges in Nigeria is affecting everyone, even including those in the government. Recently, Commissioner of Information for Niger State Government was abducted, was kidnapped. And he is part of the government because the head of the government refused to resolve the problem. And it's affecting people who are working with the government. So the manager must understand the quality of time management, problem solving, inspiration, integrity, daily activities of the subordinates, and communication skill. And this is what is happening in many organizations. Effective leaders and managers must have many characteristics such as inspiration. Leaders must have confidence in himself before he have confidence in the followers. Leaders, a good leader must be passionate. He must be passionate. A good leader must have a sense of human and a sense of humanities. So if a leader have a sense of humanity, he will consider whatever happened to somebody else may happen to him. A good leader must have creativities. He must be creative. He must have communication skill. He must have target goal. And he must work properly with his team, and he must work with adaptability and flexibility. This will help him to succeed. Any company that you see them with profitability today, or with progress in performances, they have that qualities. They have that quality. I think this is where we will stop today's training, today's program. But before I end today's training, I would like to summarize what we have said so far. We have discussed about the definition of leadership, definition of management. What are the challenges facing leaders and managers across the globe in the organization? What are the challenges facing the president or governors or head of governments in their country across the globe? We have discussed the internal and external challenges facing leaders and managers across the globe. And also I mentioned the types of leadership style. Leadership styles is very, very important. So which type of leadership style your organization or your country is operating? We have discussed about this, and I said that the challenges of leadership include lack of accountability and transparency, lack of communication between the leader and the followers. A good leader must show self-discipline and trust in his job. Lack of clear vision, lack of connection between the leaders and his followers may cause a great problem, a great challenge for him or her. How to deal with basic leadership challenges, and I said that Awwal suggested that a good leader must inspire his team during the crisis. The team must be motivated, and a good leader must allow change. A good leader must not fear. A good leader should not fear of change. It may cause conflict to fire ineffective employees or worker. It may be a hard decision to take, but that decision will make the organization to grow. So it may cause conflict. A good leader must know how to resolve the conflict internally and external challenges. I mentioned about external and internal challenges facing leaders across the globe, and how to overcome basic leadership challenges. I mentioned that a good manager must manage his team with fairness. So everyone must be on the same page. If the manager treating unfairly, other workers will suspect him, and it may create problem for him. A good leader must know how to make hard decisions, and you must know how to manage resources of the organization with fairness. A good leader must look after himself. He must forget about personal problem when he's going to work, because it may affect his job. So family problem is different from pressure at work. He must control his emotional intelligence at work. And I mentioned that a good leader must develop his skill. He must develop his skill. For instance, in Nigeria, recently we read it on the news where Professor Oloyede, he proved himself as a competent leader. He proved the quality of leadership, because JAM office remittance grows from millions to billions. So that is what people are expecting from good leader. He proved himself as a good leader. And if you check federal inland revenue as well, Nigeria fires, their remittance grows from millions to trillion. So that is part of achievement. And if you check custom remittance also in Nigeria, their revenue. Their remittance grow from millions to trillion as well. And NNPC, if you check NNPC and communication companies in Nigeria, so many of them, they have grown to trillion. As part of, we must mention this, in the first time by history of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Muhammadu Buhari is the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. At the same time, he is the Minister for Petroleum Resources in Nigeria. He appointed himself as a Minister of Petroleum. Why? He said so that he will be able to monitor the activities of the NNPC in Nigeria. And President Muhammad Buhari announced that NNPC has generated a profit after tax. They generated about 287 billion in 2020. So after the audited financial statements, and he congratulated the board of directors, management and staff of the NNPC. Second, NNPC has invested about $2.76 billion in Dangote refinery, and this assured Nigerians that the importation of petroleum products into Nigeria will soon be over, because Nigerian government cannot raise over $12 billion. So to overhaul its 3 refineries, because lack of management skill, lack of leadership skill has killed refineries in Nigeria. And Dangote managed to build a refinery where it may help Nigeria. Before I end today's program, what you should be expecting in the next training, and what you should be expecting in the in the next presentation. We shall, as I promised, we shall discuss the challenges of democracy in Nigeria. We shall discuss about the challenges of democracy in Nigeria. Why? Because the bombing and killings, kidnapping by terrorists and bandits, and other religious violent attacks are the major threats to the Nigerian economy. And that is the truth. The Boko Haram has claimed a series of attacks in Nigeria. The immunity clause in the Nigerian constitution, which prevents Nigerian politicians from being prosecuted, has been the major problem that is affecting the quality leadership and affecting the quality management in that country until that immunity clause is removed. Because immunity clause in the Nigerian constitution prevents Nigerian politicians from being prosecuted. So that this allows corruption to grow. Nigerians have lost confidence in police. Mike Okiro, former Inspector General of Police, said this statement in 2012. So Nigerian economy has been seeing a boom since the return of civilian rule of 1999, because Nigerians' GDP was around 59 billion, that is $59 billion, and increased to $375 billion in 2017. And Nigeria rely on oil, so 80% of total exports revenue in Nigeria is from crude oil. So how do they manage these resources? What are the management, the quality management in Nigerian revenue? 80% of total export revenue is from crude oil, and the global oil price crashed in 2016. So that is why Nigeria went into recession. So 43% of Nigerians are unemployed. 87 million Nigerians live in poverty. Nigeria is on the list among the most dangerous countries today. Nigeria has been listed as corrupt nation across the globe. Why? Because most of the top Nigerian government officials has embezzled public fund to enrich themselves from 1960 till present day. So corruption is part of great challenges of democracy in Nigeria, which we shall look into in the next discussion. We shall look into this. We shall look into the 5 notable Nigerian leaders who played a great role to fight against corruption in Nigeria, but due to their inactive of lack of full commitment and lack of leadership and management, they failed. Alhaji Shehu Shagari launched Ethical Revolution in 1992. He launched that Ethical Revolution in 1982, which was designed to fight against corruption, but it failed. Buhari, Idiagbo, they introduced war against indiscipline. Why? But it failed. In 1984, General Ibrahim Babangida introduced structural adjustment program in 1985 to fight against corruption, but it failed. General Sani Abacha introduced mass mobilization for social justice in 1983 to fight corruption, but it failed. Number 5, General Olusegun Obasanjo, he set up ICPC. He set up EFCC. EFCC was set up to fight against corruption, but Obasanjo himself squandered about $16 billion, the money that was assigned to resolve the problem of electricity in Nigeria. We shall look into these issues next time and give a solution to many problems facing Nigerians and the leaders, so that we know what caused all those problems. If you review this video and if you watch this video repeatedly, you will understand what leadership is. You will understand what management is. Not until you attain a position of leadership. So leadership starts from yourself. Management starts from yourself. How are you managing your life? Just ask yourself. How are you managing your property? How are you managing your wife? How are you managing your children? How are you managing the resources available to you? Before you think of others, before you think of state, before you think of country, that you want to manage the whole country, you want to manage the whole state, you want to manage local government. So you have to ask yourself, do you have quality of leadership? Ask yourself. Do you have the quality of management before people can entrust their resources to you to manage it? So this is simple question. So this is where we will stop. I appreciate our viewers. We appreciate your comments. We appreciate your time for watching this special program, which we work hard to bring today. In the next episode, as I said, we shall discuss more about this topic, and it will be based on government and governance, because we have this that's linked with leadership and management. My name remains Dr.Dauda Awwal, the president of Total Support Group for Nigeria in Diaspora. The organization is officially registered in England by UK Company House. The organization is a charity organization where we help the needy, and we organize training and other program and solve Nigerians' problem in the UK and also in Africa We have other organization working with our organization, and our organization is accredited by the United Nations. If you have any comments on today's program or any view or opinion for the improvements of this our program, I shall appreciate and happy to work with any of your idea that can improve our this kind of program. This kind of program is organized in collaboration with Facebook Free Online for the benefit of viewers, and this program will be useful for any organization or government departments for training, because we have mentioned the relevant points of what leadership and management is. I appreciate you all. God bless you. Good night.